is how easy it is to make several designs using one basic spindle designs. What we're going to do is to, just by using one cutter to start with on the milling machine and putting different factors into the computer on the machine, show you how easy it is to create many designs. And first of all, what we'll do is just show you the machine cutting this profile. Notice how clean the cut is. We're using the freeform tool on this machine, which I think is far superior to anything else, and also note the speed at which it accomplishes its task. Turned on blanks. What we're going to do now is convert the machine from turning mode to twisting mode. And what I'll do is I'll actually leave the camera running now, so you can actually see how easy and quick it is to change, to remove the tool holder, to put the milling unit on. So here we go. Locking bolts on the side of the cutting tool mechanism. Nice and loose. What it does is just slide forward off the dovetail and remove it. Sliding dovetail, so it locates in the same place every time. And we just tighten those nuts up there. And plug it in. What we've also mounted on the machine here is this additional steady here, which supports the spindle when we're milling. Without it, there'd be a tremendous amount of vibration, which would not give you a very good finish by any means. But also, if the spindle is actually bowed a little bit in the turning process, it will also hold it straight. So when you're doing such milling work as fluting or reeding, it keeps the timber centered to the machine and gives you a near perfect cut. So one to start with is we'll just do a standard barley twist, and then using the same cutter, what we'll do is use different directions and different depths with the same cutter, and you can see how many different profiles we can create just from one cutter and one standard design. What we have to do is set this little limit switch here to the position that when the carriage gets to our start point, it actually brings it to a stop. So what you do first of all is you bring your carriage back to your start position where you want to start milling, and we'll do this with our little controller here. So we'll move it back to our start position, which is there. And what we do then is bring the little limit switch up and time it into place. Okay, this is the little control panel. This is where all our data is inputted to get the machine to do what we want it to do. You've got several options on here. You've got data, which is where we go to enter all the information on the movement of the machine, i.e. the indexing and lead, and how far we want it to actually travel, and also the direction. We have settings, that is the manual mode. If we go into F2, then we can move the machine around manually by pressing the arrows backwards and forwards, and also S1 will bring the cutter in and out. F3 is for starting and stopping the spindle. F1 is for fast movement, F2 is for slow movement, and you can alter the the actual pace at which the carriage moves by either pressing the arrow up or down to increase or decrease the speed. So what we're going to go is to F1 for data. Again, you have two options here for turning or milling. We're going to go to the milling mode now, so we'll press F4. Support 1, that's basically meaning we have one cutter on the machine, that's all we're using. So now using the arrow we scroll down the menu. This is our first one in our milling zone. It's asks you what length you want to mill. Well, at this point we're going to mill 255 millimeters. So what we do is select that by pressing the little dot and enter in 255 and then press enter. So that is the length that we're actually going to travel with our cutter. The F is the rotation speed, or the actual speed at which the cutter is going to travel down the timber, and at this point it's at 1200 millimeters per minute at the moment, and we'll leave it at that. Also ask you what lead you want to use. Well, we're using a 40 millimeter cutter at the moment, and we're going to do a 2-start, so we'll put an 80 millimeter lead in. By using the arrows we move around until the actual module is flashing, press the dot and then put in 80 millimeters, enter. So for when using larger cutters you can actually be very accurate on the controlling of the rotation of the cutter. Now we're ready to play. Press the forward arrow again, the cutter comes in, moves along. See, it indexes automatically through to the next start.